Hey folks, it's Lindsey Hudson with SPS back in the building. That's right, another Winning Wednesdays. And I couldn't be with a greater person on this Winning Wednesday. My guy, Coach Niz, Hassan Nazim. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Lindsey. Thanks for having me, and likewise, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you having me.
absolutely. I'm excited for you, man. It's great, when people get opportunities, but when you see people, you get an idea and see them on their journey and you kind of see them out and about. When things happen, I'm truly grateful for your new appointment to be the men's head coach at Macomb Community College. How does that feel?
It feels great, man. Feels great, man. I appreciate you and all the hard work that you do to showcase our student athletes and programs throughout the state. And I'm excited. Been about 3 weeks on the job now, and it just gets more exciting as the days go by.
Talking about hitting the ground running, I saw you just the other day over at the big fella's place at Derek Coleman's DC Elite Summer League, man, and you had that you had your coaching hat, you had your recruiting hat on then. You were over at Big Monday, locked in. You were ready to check those guys. Maybe it was Wednesday, but you were locked in, ready to see those guys. So tell me this: going from Roseville, and having some success there, and was it 3 or 4 years you were there at Roseville?
4 years.
Yep, having success there. And to instantly switch to you're in a position now, and you've been on the collegiate level before at University of Michigan, Dearborn, NAIA, and whatnot. But what is it like when you're sitting there saying, okay, this is a guy I can get, and I'm the final decision maker when it comes to bringing this guy over to a program? What is that feeling like?
So I mean, if it feels good to be able to recruit at this level and give guys the opportunity to continue playing this game, and now you add being able to help them navigate through college and help them work towards getting a degree. Ultimately, I think the biggest thing with recruiting that it intrigues me is you get to kind of not only evaluate but kind of set a standard and recruit to that standard. So that's kind of been our approach so far. Just kind of letting guys know we're looking for guys who want to be coached and want to be great teammates and want to and have aspirations to be elite in all walks of life. So with that being said, I mean, people like standards, people like expectations, people like it when people believe in their abilities. So putting that with just the talent in the great state of Michigan, specifically in the Metro Detroit, Macomb County area, it's been great. Building relationships with different people and using our past relationships with all the high school coaches and AAU coaches and directors. And the biggest thing for me that makes me really proud so far is the amount of players and stuff like that have contacted me. It says they were referred to by a coach, or so and so said they'd love for you to play for Niz and stuff like that. So that's a good feeling to have those relationships in place where people trust you with their guys.
That's great. And you talked about a standard. I want to throw a word, some four letters at you. What does that mean to you?
Getting better every day, man. It's more so than a motto. It's a lifestyle. We talk about getting better every day in all phases, as a person, as a student, as a player, and then just everything that comes with life. If you're a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, just everything that trying to be better and try to better the people around you, and bringing that contagious energy. I talk to our guys all the time about the true thing about GBED is nobody knows you like your conscience does. So at the end of every day, you could ask yourself, did I get better today? Did I do the things to get better today? And you'll know. And if you could just compound day after day after day of just growth, and you're gonna get to where you want to be.
I like that, man, and especially with this generation of athletes, and you're connected with it, so am I. And knowing their conscience, they can look at social media, they can listen to the hype machine, but to say they have to know their conscience. What is it like coaching this generation of athletes? And I know you relatively young guy even still, but just what is it that you think is unique about this generation of athletes?
I mean, with social media, it's a little bit different, like you said, with the hype and all that stuff. But with this generation, a lot of times people say kids have changed and stuff like that. I'm younger, but I just think that we can't really just go with that. As adults, we got to continue to hold young people accountable and show them right from wrong, and when they make mistakes, work with them through it, not letting guys cut corners. I've always told myself as a coach, like, I feel like my players come back after they graduate because I did hold them accountable, because I did not let them, just go through the motions and not do things the right way. I think, in the moment, sometimes, if you coach this new generation tough, or, they might not, be as acceptance of it, but in the long run, I think these young men, they understand that you only want what's best for them. And I truly say, um, they don't really know they don't really care what you know until they know that you care. And I think with
Mhm.
this generation that is it's a lot bigger now with everything going on in the world. You truly got to show these guys that you care about them as an individual, and then them being a basketball player, that's secondary to trying to help them as a person. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think yeah, it's changed a little bit, but ultimately as young adults, as parents, as coaches, we can't just say, all right, kids have changed, now we got to change our state. I still think we got to push people to break out of their comfort zone, and we got to tell people the truth. Like, can't again, going back to with this younger generation, don't tell them what they want to hear, tell them what they need to hear. So
Even if there's a fear that they may say, I don't want to be here, and I walk out.
that's okay. And that, you just never disrespect anybody, never really, but at the end of the day, you gotta, to me, I've learned this from a great coach. You could either care about their future, or you could either care about their feelings. If you care about their feelings too
Ooh.
much, you're probably not, gonna let them have it when they need to be had.
Wow, wow, and you have, I love that statement, by the way, and you have a lot of experience, not just at Roseville. Talk about your relationship with the family and being out there at EYBL and what that's been like for you.
Yeah, I had a great opportunity 2 years ago to join the family. I coached with the Michigan Warriors, which is another great AAU organization prior, and had the opportunity to join the family, which competes on the EYBL circuit. It was really intriguing to be a part of something special and a part of something that's produced the talent, the greatest talent from this state. The past 30 years and stuff like that. Unfortunately, last year we didn't get to compete due to COVID, but we had a great spring. And for me, just like being around those guys and the young men, the coaches, our director Speedy, I've been able to learn a lot, soak it all in, traveling the country, meeting new people. It's been really good. I'm really blessed to have that opportunity, and I've definitely been enjoying it.
Yeah, shout out to Speedy and the family too. Talk about Macomb County and your athletic director. Tell me, when you had to answer the question, I know it's only a few miles away from Roseville, but when people say, "Tell me about Macomb County Community College," what do you say about them when people ask you about Macomb County Community College?
The first thing I'll say about Macomb County Community College, we just won the Academic Excellence Award in the Michigan Community College Athletic Association. Number one
Wow,
academic school for this year. So that's big time, and I think that speaks volumes to our athletic director and to the rest of the staff and administration here. Even before I got here, I used to tell kids Macomb's a great place to go play basketball and continue your education. I mean, I've never heard anything bad about Macomb, and to me, it was an opportunity to coach at the next level. And one thing that I had at Roseville, I had strong administration support, strong support from the community, and everything. So that was a big thing. So and everything that I had heard about and talked with people who worked with Mr. Rizzo prior to me coming here, it was all amazing things, and it just Macomb being a special place, and Mr. Rizzo being a guy that people love working with and working for, it was very, very intriguing to me.
that's great. We talked about this offline, and these are probably the conversations we have in gyms across America. And I like to say, a lot of guys want to say D1, and girls say D1 or bust, or D1 or bust. And as you come through as a community college coach recruiting them, they may look down, at that opportunity at the time. But then when that window closes, they're knocking on your door and you're all full. Talk about the common misconception a lot of athletes have with expecting that they're going to be a D1 athlete and eventually overlooking a community college opportunity.
Right. And, it's a great question, Lindsay. And we talked about it offline. And I mentioned that even with my experiences coaching at the NAIA level, I didn't know how talent rich it was until I actually, was a part of a coaching staff and had to deal with it on a night to night basis, playing all these
So you
great
said
teams.
you were surprised by it yourself, huh?
I was surprised by it because you really don't know until you see it and you're a part of it and stuff like that. So, I think sometimes we think, there's the basketball. It's not. I mean, there's not that big of a drop off. I mean, obviously, Division 1 is Division 1. I always tell recruits and players that student athletes that I talk to, go where you're wanted. Go where you think would be a great fit for you. Obviously, you can't just look at it from a athletic standpoint. Does the school fit you academically? Does you know there's a lot of variables that go into finding the right school. And I think part of what you're saying, and I think that's why the transfer portal numbers are so high right now. I think sometimes we tend to make decisions just based off of trying to go to the highest level. But with that being said, obviously, like I tell, if you have Division I goals, I'm not mad at you, because I'm not mad at you unless you don't match it with a Division I work ethic. If you're matching your,
Mm.
so the higher your goals are, the higher your work ethic should be, right? So at the end of the day, even the guys that I'm recruiting or guys that we just talk to, giving advice to, go where you're wanted and go where you think you'll fit the best, and go where you think you'll grow. Um, so that's my thing on that. But there's whether it's D3, NAIA, D2, JUCO, D1, there's high level basketball, high level coaching. Some of the best coaches that I know are high school and Division III coaches. So you can find great coaching at all levels, and you can find great opportunities at all levels.
No, yeah, I get that. I want you to hold on for a second. I want to take a moment, man, to acknowledge some of our sponsors. A guy that you know, and you're going to be over at his event next week. We're going to talk about the Horatio Williams Foundation and all that he's doing to help our young people. I want to talk about Dick's Sporting Goods. Has been really supportive of what's going on with SPS in our platform, as well as Gilead Sciences. Now, I want to take a quick 30-second break, Coach Niz. A great opportunity that Team Michigan is putting together for some people. Who knows? You may be up there keeping your eye on some things. Just give us a second.
Yep.
Breaking news. Team Michigan Basketball is presenting a series of basketball tournaments at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Get your teams registered today. The first tournament in this series is coming this Halloween weekend. Visit boostgetball.com or teammichiganbasketball.com for more information.
There we go, just like that, and we're back. We want to welcome your comments. We got your guy, Coach Kevin Marshall, shouting you out right here, Coach Niz. He said, "That's my guy right here. Congratulations."
Salute to Coach, man. He's holding it down in Bridgeport.
Yes, he is. That's my guy, indeed. A good dude. So, man, I really want to kind of start on that note, Hassan, about, people don't want these D1 problems. They think they do. And with social media and the hype machine, like we talked about, you can put it out there. But we're talking about training table. We're talking about study table. We're talking about going up against men and women, young men and women who are just physically massive, just big people. And I don't want to tell someone that they can't do something. But I think they have to put in perspective. Then coming back to you, and I want you to elaborate a little bit more. Wow, isn't the community college a great opportunity to get in, quote unquote, get your feet wet, kind of work on your player development and do that? I mean, I know you know the story, but I just want you to touch on that a little bit more.
No, for sure. And everything you said was spot on about the Division I level, and it's obviously the highest of levels, especially at the high major level. And the community college, I think we play in one of the best conferences in the country, the Eastern Conference of the MCCAA. We have our league is there's a lot of Division I transfers in our league, guys that went Division I and came back. There's guys that come to our league and then end up playing Division I, Division II basketball. So it's highly competitive. And at the end of the day, I think it's about 2.5–3% of high school student athletes play at this level anyways. So
wow. Hold on, say it again. Only 2.5% to 3% play at this level?
At the collegiate level, yes.
Wow. I mean, and they think that's it. So I know, and I want to tell our listeners that you're very up to speed with everything that's happened on the collegiate coaching level from your time in the NAIA to now. You're very good about not making anything be a violation. So the question I'm going to pose to you is, when Coach Niz is in the building with an eye on things, what are you and other coaches looking for in players as far as what their performance is like and what's important? Is that a fair question?
For sure. No, I mean, we're looking, I speak on behalf of most coaches, saying we're looking for, guys who play the game the right way, who play hard, and who are great teammates. To me, it's like I've seen multiple times. I'll be sitting down with college coaches and they'll be recruiting, and you see a kid hit a couple shots, but then he walks off the floor, or doesn't shake a teammate's hand, or doesn't pick a kid up, or just the way his body language is. So I'm looking for body language, and most important thing that I'm looking for is how you react to when things don't go your way. I like if I'm recruiting a guy and he's on the bench and somebody who's playing his position is in the game, I'd like to see him cheering hard for that kid in particular. That shows that he's not just, I want to get back in and stuff like that. So, guys that play hard, guys that carry themselves the right way. And I always would tell my guys in high school, in terms of being evaluated, it's easy to do things the right way when things are going well. You know, and at some point in a basketball game, and some point in a basketball season, things aren't going to be going your way. They're not going to be our way. And how you react to those things, and how you react to being coached. That's the biggest thing, Lindsay. Like, obviously, we're going to coach guys up here, so you know how they accept coaching and how they interact with their coaches and how they carry themselves. And again, very very easy to be coached when your coach is patting you on the back and say, "Hey, nice shot." But you know, how about when he's getting after you for making a couple mistakes, or doing so, all those things. And again, like, I'm not one of those coaches or anything like that that's a end all be all where one mistake and I'll never look at you again. But I believe in guys responding from their mistakes, and even if it's a bad it is what it is. Young men are young men, and we all make mistakes, and we all should have the opportunity to grow from them. But ultimately, how you carry yourself, that's the biggest thing. How hard you play.
Yeah.
You hear that saying about if guys have a motor, stuff like that. Like, at this level, I don't think coaches want to have to beg you to play hard. I don't want to do that. So, looking for guys who just thoroughly love the game, love playing hard, and most importantly, and it doesn't take long to realize this, is winning important to them. Is winning important to them, and not just winning the basketball game, and just with everything they do. Are you the type of kid who after the game makes sure that you're getting your teammates over there to pick up stuff off the bench and make sure you leave the environment cleaner than you found it, and just little things, little things like that you're able to see? Because at the end of the day, if you're recruiting a kid, it's probably because he could play. It's probably because he's talented. It's probably because he has the potential. I think the separators in that are how hard they play, how they accept coaching, and how they handle adversity.
That's excellent, man. You said so much, and I'm hoping that those who are watching now or can go back and get something from that. I want to just go back to one thing you said. Even earlier in that part, you talked about you're watching not just for the points they score. So you can't really fake it. If you're not that kind of person, male or female, to where you're going to give a teammate a hand, or you're always if the coach takes you out, you can front because Coach Nids is in the building, or some other college recruiters are in the building, but your true self is going to shine through. And I think they have to understand it's not about doing it the day of the game. This is who you have to work to be. What do you think about that?
100%, 100%. Someone's always watching. Someone's always watching. So, a lot of times college coaches will call, if they're recruiting a kid from a school, they might call a coach in his league and say, "Hey, what do you think about this kid? What do you think about that kid?" So you never know. You never know who's watching. So that's why it's always good to, be who you are all the time. And like you said, it's hard to fake it. But at the end of the day, if your intentions are on just growth, having a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. And I think that's part of what we talked about earlier about young people in this generation. I think, for us, I like to still consider myself young, but for us coaches and older people, we gotta just continue to to help these people grow. I mean, the world is there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and we got to continue to empower these young men and women with the qualities and to make it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I know you got some things on your schedule you got to get to, but just two things. I want to kind of go back to what you're talking about. Someone's always watching. I had this basketball, Demaya Hagman, on earlier this week, and I just posted one of her videos, and she made a really good point about the importance of athletes networking. To your point, somebody will make a phone call. She said coaches who voted on her, so even though she may have been treated one way, she still carried herself in a certain way. And I think so many of our young people have this you can't tell me nothing attitude, and they carry that over into this, which is pretty much part of their profession, and they can hurt themselves. So I wanted to talk about that. Well, I got another one for you. I want to take a quick trip down memory lane, Coach. Remember when we were at the Breslin Center in Michigan State? It was your birthday. Was it your birthday the day before your birthday?
It was it was either the day off or the day before, but it was in the
And you were watching Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo, go through his practice. I just want you to take me back to what your mindset was then. And you were speaking things to existence. You were talking about next level and where you are right now. Try to make a connection, if you can, with what you felt like watching your favorite coach, Tom Izzo, coach, and then being right here taking on the head coaching role to help college students better themselves.
Yeah, so I've ever since I started coaching, I've been a regular at John Beeline's practices and Tom Izzo's practices, and even some of the local colleges around here, just trying to pick coaches' brains and see how the way they do things and stuff like that. I've always had a vision to be a collegiate head coach, one day. being a young coach, you're ambitious and stuff like that. But ultimately, for me, it was about making an impact. So more so when I first started coaching, it was about getting to the top, and now it's about just making a top notch impact where I'm at, being where your feet are at, and just doing right by the people you're entrusted with where you're at. At that point, I remember. At that point, probably the most thing on my mind at that point was coming back 5 months later with my Roseville team to play in the Final Four at the Breslin. That's probably what I was daydreaming about that day at Coach Izzo's practices. But I've always been ambitious about being a head coach in college, and God is great, and the timing of this situation, and it all worked out. And I believe in doing things the right way. You do things the right way, and you do right by people, and God will open doors for you.
I like that. I like that. Well, I'm gonna let you go. The last thing I can say, you're here at Macomb County Community College. Go ahead. You got Sam giving you a shout out. He said Coach Niz is a beast. Sam showing you some love.
It's my Uncle Sam, best jump shooter in the family.
Oh yeah, he can put it out there. Okay, shout out to Uncle Sam. Here's the thing. Why don't you give me a nice commercial for Macomb County Community College, the model? So if someone is trying to figure out what they want to do next, you got Coach Niz right here who can tell you a little bit about it.
Well, I'll just say from the standpoint of obviously the community college level is about opening doors and creating opportunities at the 4-year level, and like I said, working towards your degree and stuff like that. My thing about Macomb, I truly believe our basketball program and Macomb Community College in general is not just about sending you through that door, but it's also sending you through that door the best version of yourself. So you come to Macomb, you're going to get better, you're going to grow, you're going to have a great experience, and you're going to do big things here and after. And ultimately, I tell all the guys that I coach that my relationship with them doesn't end when they take the Macomb jersey off. That's when it's just beginning. So just be something that will last a lifetime.
Well, I look forward to getting down, man, and watching your success. Whoever is coming to the Monarch Land, very fortunate to have a passionate, talented, committed coach like yourself. And with that, man, good luck. And I know I'll see you out here during these summer leagues. And you always got a home at SPS when you want to share. Okay.
I appreciate you, Lindsay, and shout out to Lindsay for everything that he's doing for the young people, man. Every summer league that I've been to, I see him interviewing young men, getting them ready, and just that's big time, man. We didn't have that when I played, and that's huge what you're doing for these guys, man.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to focus on the young ladies too.
That's
and have it there. But we'll see each other out there. I'm just happy for you. And Macomb is very fortunate in the choice they made. So all the best. Okay.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a great night.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Mm-hmm.